Day 5. Friday. What a beautiful Friday. If I continue to overload the web team, they won't be able to make the deadline. Genius! I'm an absolute genius! Alright, Svetlana, have you finally prepared the depth report that you did present at yesterday's meeting?
But what about the website? Isn't that more important? Today's the last day we need to finish it.
I see. Nonetheless, the bank won't put the rest of your duties on hold just because you're having difficulties managing your work. You must see everything through. If you can't, don't bother starting in the first place. Douche.
Are these reports really that important? As you said, they're already overdue. Is one more day going to matter?
That's just it. They're past due by a whole week, Svetlana. Do you not understand that it's because of you that the final report for the entire bank is overdue? Do you understand what kind of costs these delays can cause? That's it. Thrust the knife in and let our own conscience do the tormenting for me. Of course, it's her fault that we've passed the submission date for the final report, but given that the terms of agreement we have ensure no penalty cost, what does it matter? But there is still no excuse for such tardiness. Although this does give me an opportunity to delay her and miss the deadline for making the site.
But I had no idea I was causing so many problems. I'll fix this. I'll make up for everything.
Well then, see that you do. Good morning, Sveta. How are you feeling? Up and ready to get started? We've just got the finishing touches to do with its structure now. Hey, what's this? I don't like seeing that look in your eyes. What happened now?
No, it's nothing really. I just ran into the chief earlier, and he was going on and on about how important those blasted finance reports are, and how I shouldn't have any problems with getting them done. And he's right, you know. All you have to do is make sure your calculations are correct, but that takes time to review, and there's not enough time to do that and work on the website. But it turns out that because of me, and the final report is overdue by more than a week.
And you believed all his bluster was real? Come on, Sveta. Don't you know that's what a lot of bosses do? They have this crazy idea that it helps people work more efficiently when they're being intimidated.
But the final report hasn't been provided yet.
So what? Do you think that's all your fault? We have been working hard for a whole week, completely focused on the website. Well, mostly focused on the website. And as far as I can tell, copies of your data are stored on a backup server in the accounting department as well as your own PC. So if anyone needs to access your work, they can get a hold of it from there.
But what if the backups are wrong? No one else reviews them, so it's my responsibility to make sure that they're completely accurate. If there's an error that I missed in the final report, I just don't want to think about what would happen then.
Look, if you think that these reports are really important, then how about you just take the time out to get them done now? Once they're done with, we can get back to working on the website together. Come to think of it, we've cleared a lot of documentation which I just need to add to the data management system. That's a one-person job, so this is a perfect timing.
Are you sure? Okay, I'll be back before you know it.
I wonder what's really bothering her. Yesterday we worked quite well together and she was fine, even with all the problems with her boss. So why is she so on edge today? I need to find a better way to keep her spirits up. Sveta? Oh, here you are. Here's my little website expert. We have a little bank audit coming up, so you need to complete these forms right away. We need to get this done immediately. If it's overdue, not only will the bank receive a considerable fine, the employee wages will be affected.
But...
No buts. This is very urgent. Also, when you finish, come over to my office. I have some questions for you regarding last month's reports.
Okay.
An hour later. These forms are so complicated, and of course I have to drop everything and get them done right away. Come on, Sveta, get it together. The boss wants to see you afterwards too. Remember, whatever he says to you, everything is going to be fine. We will have plenty of time to complete the website. Then, we've got the weekend to relax afterwards.
Okay. Here goes nothing.
Okay, this is bugging me. The more I think of it, the more I'm convinced that the boss is setting up Sveta to fail. If that keeps happening, she could very well give up and quit. Sveta, I've had enough of having to deal with your problems all day, but they just keep building up.
What do you mean? What's happened now?
You very well know what volume of cash flows we deal with on a daily basis and how tightly we have to monitor them. So how can you allow yourself to make all these mistakes? This is our customers' money we're talking about here, you know. Here, look! The data we have in your report does not match the final figures.
How can that be? I verified everything.
Really? So what happened then? From what we can tell, you used yesterday's exchange rates instead of today's listed rates. What were you thinking?
That can't be right. Every time before I begin my calculations, I check the current exchange rate through the computer.
How could you have done that when the network was down? The connection failure icon wasn't clear enough for you?
But
no more excuses. For the next 3 months, you lose your bonus. Consider yourself lucky that's all I'm doing. Now get out of my office, and don't bother going back to work for the rest of the day.
God damn, our boss really is a douche. Aww, here's Sveta crying. No. Sveta? Sveta! By the time I worked out what was going on, she had already left. The boss keeps putting so much strain on her. She's already looking so stressed out. How could he keep doing that to her? Well, I hope she doesn't take it to heart. I did warn her that sort of attitude was typical behavior of a lot of bosses I met. From what I can tell, she's not used to having to deal with these kind of pressures. Alright then. In the meantime, I'll do what I can here. When Sveta gets back later, we should be happy with our progress. 1 hour later. I wonder what's keeping her. Oh well, I'll keep at it. 2 hours later. Okay, this isn't like her. She's been gone for 2 hours now. If she's not back in the next half hour, I'm going to go look for her. Half an hour later. Where's Svetlana? I saw her running out of the boss's office earlier. It looked like she was in tears. Yeah, he can be a real tyrant. No one has seen Sveta since then, I don't think. So, what's happened? Why is the boss so angry with her? Actually, Svetlana is the only one who gets bullied by her boss. Isn't the only one who gets bullied by her boss. Seems to be his favorite hobby to find the smallest mistake made by someone and blow it out of proportion. Especially with the young employees. Those who can't bear it soon quit. But he gets soon tired of it and stops bothering you if you just if you just put up with it and keep working. How can anyone put up with that? This kind of thing happens everywhere, so you just deal with it. I need to do something to help her. Like what? I don't know. I just want to be able to support Sveta through all this, but she's not answering my calls. Have you tried her home number? That's probably where she's gone. The boss expelled her today. I tried her home already, and there's been no answer. Wait, what do you mean expelled? Did he fire her? No, he's not that much of a monster. He was probably just lecturing her about office responsibilities and keeping a professional attitude like he always does, and then sent her off to consider her faults. Very few bosses would send an employee home in the middle of the day, but ours does when he gets angry enough. Damn it! I need to find her. Where does she live? I'm sorry, but we can't divulge any personal information about our employees. But I want to help her. How are you going to do that? I don't know yet. Look, what if you make things worse? Maybe she just needs to be left alone for now. But I've got to do something. I can't just sit here while she goes through all this by herself without any support. I know everyone sees her as this cheerful and carefree person, but after working with her for the past week, I know she's quite sensitive. She just hides it very well, though. Isn't it always better to have someone help cope with these kinds of problems? Why must she be the exception here? I don't want her to have to deal with this by herself. Aw, Vlad, are you developing a little crush on Sveta? You know, maybe you really could help her. Let me get you her address. Half an hour later, near Sveta's door. Sveta, open up. It's me, Vlad. Come on, Sveta. I know you're there. Sveta, I'm not leaving until you open this door. What do you want? Here, I brought you a cactus. What would I do with a cactus? I don't even like them.
Yeah, why'd you bring a cactus? That's a little weird. I know, but take a look at this. It's got a cool haircut, and those notches look like eyes, but it's always frowning for some reason. Such a harsh little cactus. I think it just needs some company. I've been given flowers before, but a cactus? This is a first. This cactus is mostly certainly the leader of some unknown extraterrestrial civilization. You better take care of it now. I've heard that cacti remember everything. And by everything, I mean everything. So when they come here to take over the world, you better make sure they know you are taking care of him. Extraterrestrial civilization? Well, if you look at it that way, you can see that it's got the same awful hairstyle as you. Hey, don't be like that. I combed my hair yesterday, I think. Scarecrow, come in. Drinking tea at the kitchen. Okay, spit it out. Why a cactus of all things? I just wanted to make you smile after what happened today. I saw this cactus and I thought it was a perfect thing to do. Yeah, today was just awful. Our boss was a real tyrant. No argument there. He just kept on and on about all these little things that went wrong over the past week and blamed me for everything. Do you know what it feels like? I haven't even begun to imagine. And I swear the calculation error wasn't my fault, but he pinned the blame for that on me as well. How awful. Awful like the smell of his aftershave. And he keeps blowing things out of proportion. You know, it's been ages since I've had anyone to talk to like this. Thank you for coming by to see me. My pleasure. Anytime. So, are you really agreeing with everything I've said? Of course not, but is that so important? The main thing is that I was here to listen. So what? You were just humoring me? Come here, you. I'm going to beat you with this towel. You gotta catch me first. Anyway. Half an hour later at the apartment. Okay, Sveta, it's getting late, so I'll head home. I'll see you at work tomorrow, and try to cheer up. Everything's going to work out fine. Okay, thanks again for coming by. Nobody has bothered to listen to me, ever. Not even my parents. No one cared about my achievements. And when I moved out and started living alone, everyone became a complete stranger. Friends, meeting up at a cafe. Everyone is only interested in themselves. Meeting up at the cafe was just an excuse to boast about something new that had happened, or some expensive fad that they'd bought. It was all about who was doing better in their career or a new phone. You tried to talk about any problems, they appeared to be listening, even sympathetic. But underneath it all, you could just tell they didn't care. Some were even happy to hear about how things were troubling you, and made their lives look even more wonderful. If you had troubles in your life, it was all your own fault. You should stop burdening other people with your failures. If you had problems with your boss or how other people were treating you at work, again, it's all your fault that you're in such a position in the first place. But Vlad, he's different. He came around to see me, just to sit there and listen. I'm glad I'm working with him now. ... Phew. How long has it been since I had that much fun? Just fooling around together, having a good laugh. To see no tears or stress on Sveta's face, just a great big smile. Yeah, she's still got a lot of problems to deal with. They're not going away overnight, but at least I was able to help her relax, get her back to her normal self. Now she can put her troubles behind her and carry on. Day 6, Saturday. Well, it's good that there's only a few people in the bank on Saturdays. Most of the staff had the day off. There's only a few of the cashiers serving here. Yeah, you're right. Otherwise we'd have to find somewhere else to sit and work. At least this way, there's next to no one here to bother us, is there? Yep. So anyways, where did we get up to yesterday? I can't remember. Then let's check our current archives. Ha! Archives! You're not wrong there. We've been at this for almost a week now, and there's enough working documents on the table here that archive suits them perfectly. Yeah, the scary thing is, what we have written down is only the current data. All the rest of our work is electronic format now. That's for sure. Okay, let's check where we left off. Half an hour later. We've been here half an hour already, and we've hardly made any progress. Yeah, the past week has been hell. But the end is on the horizon. We just have to push through the rest of this. Yeah. Half an hour later. We've already been here for an hour now and only worked about 5 minutes. This isn't going to work. Let's switch tasks. Good idea. Maybe the change will help motivate us. And just to make sure that we don't get in each other's way, I think we should work on separate items. At least then one of us will be able to keep focused. Sounds good. I've got a couple of changes I need to do on the data management system. Okay, I'll recheck all those papers so they can't blame me for any errors again. We rushed through them this time, so I just want to make sure we don't miss anything. It's better this way. I just can't get motivated this morning. This way I won't disturb Sveta. My mind keeps wandering. I'm too exhausted to even think about work. But we have to. We're almost finished here. Work, Sveta. Work! You'll get a huge Christmas bonus from this. Maybe. I thought your boss said no bonuses for the next 3 months. Or so. Or it will be like last year where I was hoping to take a trip to the coast with my bonus. But there was only enough for me to treat myself to a cafe meal. Foolish goons. I haven't been to the beach in ages. Warm sun, soft sand. No, stop this. Work. I need to think about work. An hour later. So, how are you doing over here? I just can't seem to get it together at all today. Yeah, me too. It looks like we've both hit a wall today, no matter what we try. Anyway, it's nearly time for lunch and a bank also closes at noon. And we get this position for some reason. That's a little weird. Raising my hand! Teacher, I'm raising my hand. Well, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we could focus on work while we're somewhere else. What do you mean? I think we should try working from home for the rest of the day. We should be able to relax and concentrate more easily there. I think. Sounds good. There's no point in us sitting around here anymore anyway. And if either of us needs something, the other's just a phone call away. At home? Working from home will make for a nice change. You could just kick back in your old sweatpants, have your favorite old mugs sitting in the table next to you. Get up for refills at any time, and no one to bother you. Perfect life. Phew, I'm glad to be home. This will make things easier. And when there's nobody around paying attention, you can afford to relax a bit. Half an hour later. Yep, you guys have uploaded a great video there. Well done. I had no idea I missed out on so much news this week. I'm feeling better already. Time for me to get back to work. Oh, there's a new line of my favorite perfume. How lovely. I already want it. But that's for later. Now back to work. I've been home for half an hour already and haven't started. Another half an hour, cause you can see where this is going, right? Right? Wow, that was a great round, everyone. But that's it for me. I promise to get some work done today. Sveta's likely to be working hard already, and here I am playing around. Maybe working from home wasn't such a great idea. It's hard to get started. I come home and all I want to do is relax. Vlad has probably done what was on his to-do list already, but I haven't done a thing. Another half an hour passes. Yep. Little procrastinators. So, here I should be adding this and there. I should be do that instead. I haven't got those confused, have I? Yeah, this is unclear about Sveta around to help. I'll have to call her. Getting through this paperwork is all well and good, but we really need to work on the website. If Vlad is the only one who really understands the process, I'll have to call him. Ring, 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 phone call, ring, 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 phone call, click. Sveta, you remember that page we were having problems with a while ago? Can you remind me if we were keeping it as is or changing it? We should definitely change it, but not go as far as you suggested earlier. By the way, what format options are allowed? Just take a look in the folder with your previous work. There should be some examples you can use there. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you. So, admit it, Vlad. You've already done everything, haven't you? And you're just humoring me with these questions. I wish. I still can't pull it together and focus on work. Barely sat down to get started when I saw I can't do it at all. So, how about you? Pretty much the same as you, but I don't know what we can do. Do we keep going like this, or is there something else we can try? I can't think of anything. Let's keep at it for now. I'll give you a call later, okay? Okay. Bye. One more half an hour. I've always worked alone, and been happy to do so. Nobody's around to interrupt you, nobody to get on your nerves, and you can focus on the task at hand. The only negative is that there's no backup or support if you need it. I've only been working with Sveta for a week, but I'm already so used to her being there. I remember how moody she was when we first met. It's funny how things change. She's certainly not like that, especially when she's focusing on the job. Her methods are a little unorthodox, but she certainly gets results. The week has passed, and I've had next to no customers or client contacts. There's no need to put on that idiotic smile, put on that polite facade. At first glance, all I had to do was deal with the projects. Nothing's ever as simple as it first seems, though. I tried just dealing with the documentation, but that didn't work out well. I got tired of it very quickly. But when I'm working with Vlad, everything changes. Vlad's always listening to me, asking for my advice, and paying attention to everything I tell him. Makes me feel important. And working with him makes me feel more confident. When you know that somebody needs you for your knowledge, help and support, it's easier to think about work. Vlad is always considering my decisions, even my more reckless ones, and even accepts some of those. If he doesn't like my advice or decision, he'll always explain why. I remember when I took him for being some conceited turkey when we first met. So embarrassing to think about now. Though he did just sit there like a lump at the time. He wouldn't talk with anyone in the room. He turned out to be a pretty nice guy. I think I'm lucky to be working with him. More time passes, and as we see, our two lovebirds are developing a nice little crush on each other. It's funny, even just thinking about Sveta helps me get through my work. It's time for a coffee break. It was funny when she accidentally added salt instead of sugar to her tea, then she was called away and forgot about it. And then some guy came along, couldn't be bothered to make his own and drink it. The look on his face was priceless. Phew, Vlad would probably be having a coffee break right about now. That's not a bad idea. I'll get one too. When Vlad's around, he's always asks if I want one too when he's making one. You can tell that he's a bachelor though. Keeps forgetting to wash his mug and doesn't care if his tea gets cold and still drinks it. He's funny like that. And when he dropped that dirty teaspoon on that witch of a secretary, oh how she screamed! Serves her right. I can't do this. Oh, I can do this. I can do this. I'll get this project done. I'll get this project done. I've dealt with worse. I've dealt with worse. I... Both fall asleep right next to their computers. Wah, wah, wah. Yep, they went through it alright. Through to Zville. Day 7, Sunday, the last and final day for them to work on the project. My favorite episode too, and you'll find out why. Sveta, you asked me about some options yesterday. Well, I think I've come up with something. Continuing to work at our current pace isn't going to work. So we're just going to take it easy. Relax, have fun. Then this evening we can get back to work completely refreshed. Yep, the last and final day to work on it, and we choose to have fun for the day. and just work on it during the evening. Yep. We went there. This game went there. Just face palming right now because it's just so silly. So silly. But anyway, we need a story and we need a romantic story and blah 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 blah. So, let's carry on, shall we? Well now, Rambo, aren't you all gung-ho today? And what do you suggest that we do to relax then? Knowing you, it's something to do it on the computer. Well, normally, yeah, maybe. But I read up on the internet that there's a town not too far away that has this great living history village set up. On their webpage, they had all these images of reenacted historical cavalry battles and defenders holding the walls of a stone fortress in this big siege. They even have all these people dressed up and reciting lines of famous people from the last war. That's it in a nutshell, so what do you say? Shall we go? That's not a bad idea. Do you want to book a tour through an agency and take a bus there? No, that'll take all the fun out of it. We could just head down there on our own. Uh-huh. So are you suggesting we take a bike ride down there in the middle of winter? Or if you prefer, we could walk there. Either way, it should only take a couple of weeks if we go. Hey, no one said we'd be going on foot. I bought a car a few months ago, so we can use that. A car? I had no idea you had one. Well, yeah. I've had to drop everything and travel to work sites on demand in the past, so that's why I bought it. The car is older than I am, though, so I don't use it much and walk everywhere instead. Uh-huh. Are you sure that it'll even start? Of course it will! I call the car my Swallow, and it's in perfect condition. Hopefully. Hopefully? Well, like I said, I don't use it much. Always driving a car everywhere means it needs constant service. It takes up a lot of time and money. I don't travel much these days, so I prefer walking, but I make sure to keep the car well maintained. Okay then, show me this Swallow of yours. On the street. And that's the beautiful, lovely car. Are you calling this clunker a Swallow? There, you see? You've already completely forgotten about work and are more worried about my car. Oh no, I will not sit in that thing. Why? It's old! It looks like it's going to fall apart! And when was the last time you even cleaned it? Sveta, the car definitely won't fall apart, I promise. Sure, it looks old, but it's never let me down. Well, I guess I'll take your word for it. Okay, what have we got to lose? Let's go. Also, I find the music kind of interesting because it's actually pretty choppy if you listen to it. Like, one minute we were hearing this like jazz music, this techno music, then all of a sudden we were hearing this type of music. Like more peaceful techno music. Yeah, the music also is very choppy too. On the road. Oh, just look at them. Just look at them, sitting in that car, driving along the road. Boom, 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 boom. You know, maybe this isn't so bad after all. This car of yours might look a bit clumsy, but the ride is quite smooth. The heater works well. It's warm in here, you wouldn't think it's winter. This is so much better than going by bus. The buses are terrible. Noisy, smelly, surrounded by strangers, you get crowded in. It's just the two of us here in the car, and we're free to go wherever and do whatever we choose. Much better than the bus. And that's not all. We've got all the comforts of modern living. Even when on the road, here you go, you have thermos of warm coffee. Oh, super! Thank you! On the tour in another city. It is here that we forced the invaders to retreat. Though on the verge of defeat, a valiant effort by your troops turned the tide against our foes, but at enormous cost. Then a group of only 3 people made for the whole battle more than all the others put together. Wow, turns out you're pretty smart. How do you know all this? Are you interested in history? No, I just passed a lot of time playing the shooter Doll of Kuri. Doll of Cootie, guys. The best shooter game known to man. If you have not played Doll of Cootie, then you are crazy. You are absolutely crazy to not have played this amazing shooter game. The horror. Indeed. ... And here we are at another. This is my least favorite picture just because it just looks pretty meshed up. Like, I could tell these are little houses, but everything else just kind of looks bad to me for this one. I don't know why. Anyway, let's have Vlad cover it up. Cover it up, please. We're sick of looking at it. Oh, here's a situation like in that TV series. You know the one when the old man tells how his leg got cut off in the war? Not cut off, but blown off by a shell. It's a very sad story in general. Yeah, it made me cry a lot when he tried to get up and saw his foot on the side. You don't understand anything. It was a very dramatic moment. Pfft, I can't handle drama. I mean, look at these guys. They should have learned to shoot better. Right. You've crossed the line there. I've got just the thing for you. Hey, what are you doing? Put that down. Oh no, you don't. Get back here and accept your punishment like a man. This is for making me sensitive jokes during a tragic scene. Wait, this will turn into its own tragic scene if you hit me on the head with a frying pan. Ooh, the beautiful, beautiful frying pan. Where the hell did she get a frying pan? I mean, if it's historical stuff, then she shouldn't be touching it. So I imagine she pulled it out of her purse. Oh, speaking of which, Vlad, where did you pull that from anyway? Hammerspace? There was a frying pan in your hands a minute ago. Didn't you know that girl's handbag actually is bottomless? You never know what I've got in here. Ah. So we have a Mary Poppins handbag. Excellent. Now, stop trying to change the subject and get back here. You're not going to try to hit me anymore, alright? You know I will. Yeah, I'll pass on that. I'll stay right here, thank you. Oh, yes you will. You'll get it worse if you don't. Nope. Oh, really? I'll just have to get you later. Here we are in another historical area. Wow, I remember this place. This piece is one of the most significant battles in history. A lot of locals had ancestors that fought in this battle. The armistice, agreed upon afterwards, helped to bring about a long period of peace and prosperity. What, more Doll of Cootie? The best shooter game known to existence? No, those are only about modern wars. So where did you learn all of this? Seriously, I want to know. Do you have a history books at home? Oh no, I don't just play Doll of Cootie. I have a lot of historical games too. I particularly like the strategy war games. Eh? You really are a hopeless case after all. No. Video games can help you learn a thing or two. If you choose the educational ones, at least. Wow, this cafe still exists? Let's check it out. Here? It doesn't look very decent. What do you mean? This is the best place in town. And stop judging a book by its cover, you dumb hoe. What? Is this one of those places you've seen in your games? Certainly looks old enough. Next, you'll tell me a story about that back in the Stone Age, a quirky local businessman entertained the people with a mammoth show, right at this very spot. Is that what you really think of me? I don't just sit around playing computer games, you know. Yeah, you also sit around watching movies and TV shows. I get it already. Hey, don't be like that. I came to this cafe many years ago. I even remember the name of it. Tavern. Most original name ever. Well, it's certainly something different. We may as well go in. You can tell me all about what brought you here back then. While you're at it, you can tell me why this cafe has such a strange name. In the cafe... Now this one I kind of like. The colors are really nice. And you can just really tell the seating in this and the windows and the ceiling. It's a really nice design. I personally like it anyway. Actually, you guessed correctly. Oddly enough, this place is actually a historical building. Our people have been coming here to eat for more than a century. Also, they have the most delicious tea in the world. The owner is a bit nostalgic and came up with the name. It's his way to keep the place historically authentic. Ah, okay. Back in the olden days, we used to have taverns that were like treated either like hotels or places for you to sit down and eat. Especially when you're traveling around, so taverns were very popular back in the olden days. But obviously we don't really have those anymore. We have them as hotels or just sit-down restaurants. So, nice little touch right there. How do you know so much about this place? And how did you get here the last time? Oh, that's a long story. I was very young then. I'd only just started with my freelancing. There was a customer who really wanted to meet in person. I soon found out that he wasn't actually looking for someone to do freelance work. He was just looking for a drinking buddy. I had no idea at the time, of course, and turned up dressed like I was going for an interview. One of the few times in my life wearing a jacket. That was the first and last time in my life I did such a stupid thing. What stupid thing? Meeting with a complete stranger in another city? No, I wore a jacket. That's what was really stupid. But didn't you work a jacket during your time with us at work? Just saying. Anyway. Hey, you were in a jacket all week in the bank. Exactly! It was very difficult for me. This guy ended up being okay, I guess. Sociable. He didn't get completely drunk. He told me a lot of history about this place. I remember it clearly. This was meant to be my first serious work order, and, well, such is life. You mentioned the tea here. How do you know about it? You were drinking alcohol with that man at the time, I assume. Not tea? Well, I almost didn't drink, but this was a new client, so I joined them. I wasn't feeling so great afterwards. He noticed my condition and told me about this magic local tea. All my pain vanished after a cup. So we left the place to meet completely sober, and in the end he actually had a work order for me. He ended up being a very honest and direct client and paid me very well for my work. You certainly have an interesting life. Here I am stuck in the bank and can't get out. I'm that overloaded with work I can't see daylight. What about catching up with friends? Well, I can't talk, me being an unsociable computer homebody. You're a girl, though. You must have a bunch of friends. Yeah, well, not really. Most are only acquaintances. Everyone only cares about themselves, and when they're all together, all they do is stand around boasting of their success. I wasn't expecting that. To be honest, it's not very often that I go out. I just want to go home after work. And I'm usually too busy on the weekends. We worked for almost a week in the cafe. This is my longest cafe marathon. Wow. Turns out that maybe my life isn't so bad after all. At the very least, I get to meet with customers, or just do small jobs here and there to cover living expenses, and I regularly get out of the house. Yeah, still, it's a completely different thing to be sitting in a cafe working instead of going just for fun. But this has been nice. You've been telling all sorts of interesting stories. There's no one bothering us, and we're able to just sit here savoring the world's best tea. On the way back... Oh, Vlad, look! What a cute snow medal! Come on, let's go! Why? We're almost home. What do you mean, why? It is cute! Come on! I don't know if a snow meadow would be considered cute, but it would be nice to explore. Well, if you say so. Okay. Really? Snow meadow cute? That just doesn't seem like a good word choice I would use. And in the summer, there will be mushrooms everywhere. When I was a child, I was very fond of them. I used to pick them when taking a walk with my parents in the woods. Sorry, I don't get out much. Phew, I need to get out on the road more often, even in the middle of winter. I'm out of practice with my driving. I hope Sveta hasn't noticed. Oh, there's a bird's nest in the trees, and squirrels! Squirrels! Look at how pure white it is. A great plain of snow, untouched by man. But it's not a plain, it's a forest. Don't be a spoiled sport. All the same, it's cool.
Yahoo!
Okay. Oh, in my childhood, there was a story about a wondrous forest. You'll never believe it. Listen, it goes like this. Well, it seems that Sveta has relaxed, finally. Turns out she really does have a lovely smile. Not at all like the one that she always has when in the bank. This is completely sincere. One coming straight from the heart. There are hundreds of those funny stories from childhood that everyone has, but everyone has ones that are special. The ones that take them back when they were truly carefree. What are you doing just standing there with a vulgar smile for? Catch a snowball! Toss. Ah! Psh! And that was the end of their day, because she apparently knocked him out with that snowball, that he got a concussion and had to be taken to the hospital for the day and the night. But he said everything was all good and dandy, so we're good and heading back to Monday. Day 8, Monday. Project completion day. And of course, I guess he forgave her because he's just like, girl, I'm kind of developing a crush on you, so it's all good, okay? Anyway. Well, I assume all conditions have been met. Well, you should be aware that we came across a series of issues as we progressed. We couldn't account for these when we started this project. I don't know about this. As you know, everything has been clearly listed in the contract. What it does say about the situation? It states here that the current contract will be voided if proof of fault by our party is presented on any claims. Completed work remains the property of the bank as compensation for loss of revenue and impact on workplace productivity. But you can clearly see that we have done the best we could. If the volume of work was exactly as what was planned for in the work list, everything would have been completed. How could we know the papers would have so many cross-references? Why are you even bothering with these excuses? Contract is concluded. It's not my fault that you can't properly assess the scope of the work detail. You agreed to a week being enough time to accomplish this task. I didn't force you. Now it's upon you to take responsibility for your decisions. But how can you do this to us? I mean, we've completed the main pages and made sure we transfer the more important documents to electronic form. And we've completed most of the minor items that were raised. We didn't have time to support pages. The reference links for those were all over the place. Did everyone say this would be an easy job? What is written in the contract? Ensure that all the cross-links are present and confirmed correct. You said yourself that there are no conditions in some auxiliary pages, so this contract item hasn't been completed. So in accordance with paragraph 13.7 of the contract, all development rights and works, complete or in part, are now transferred to the ownership of the bank without cost. I want to remind that the contract was notarized. If you raise a case in our courts, you will end up with nothing. Any court's ruling will side with the bank. This contract is dishonest. The way this was written up, contractors don't have any rights. And again, Vlad signed it without reading it. So, you can't really raise a fuss if you don't read the goddamn contracts. Moral of the story, kids, read your damned contracts to anything. Look at this. Even if there's a case considered an act of God, the contract rules only in favor of the bank. No one forced you into this. You had the opportunity to review the contract before signing. Again, yes, he did. It's too late to change anything. Are you kidding me? We have completed the primary task, and now you're saying that you're not willing to pay us for any of it? I think I've been clear enough with my explanation. In my perspective, the decisions I've made here are well within my legal rights. Really, you should understand our point of view as well. You're being completely unreasonable. It really doesn't matter what you think of me. In the end, it's all about money, isn't it? But right now, I will pay you nothing. So that means... Fine. I get it. Would you consider negotiating? That's the question I've been waiting for. After all, it would be profitable to anger the programmers on my own website. So I have a compromise. The contract hasn't been fulfilled. Then let it officially remain so. Unofficially, I will pay 50% of the agreed amount and retain a full rights and ownership of your completed work. Do you agree? But, I could refuse, but I really don't have any other choice, do I? Exactly. That's the best I can offer. Okay, I agree. Half is better than nothing, but I won't provide support for the product. That's fine. Agreed. This envelope has your money. Don't let me keep you any longer. Funny he has the money ready to go. Interesting. Later, in the bank. Why did you agree to all that? We did all the work except for all those issues we couldn't account for. We should have demanded the full amount. Sveta, I've dealt with these types of customers before. We're lucky that he paid anything at all. He would have made even more demands of us if we pushed him. These types? Come on, he can't be that hard to deal with, surely. Yes, we are paid a minimum wage for working here, and it's almost impossible to get a raise, but they always issue our paychecks on time. It's for the same reason, really. It's all about the money. He's terribly greedy, but didn't want to let on or Reed had the grounds to sue the bank. Sly fox, that one. Yeah, so what should we do? What's there to do? I'm going home, and I will be coming back to this bank again. Oh, well, let me help you pack. Oh, I don't have anything to collect. I'll just have to make my way through the bank and say my goodbyes to everyone. Okay then. What? No, it's nothing. All the best. Thank you. I hope you'll keep in touch. An hour later, and she doesn't give him a reply. Vlad, wait up! Sveta, what's up? I would have thought that you would have been still catching up on work. Don't worry about that. You're leaving already? Yep, it's about that time. So, can I help you? Here. Commandante Cactus. Take it, please. How come? He's yours now. Your lucky charm that will protect you. Of course he is. Just please keep it at your house for a while. I'll have a lot to do at work for the next few weeks, so I won't be getting home until late at night. Not sure if I can look after it very well. Once I've dealt with everything here, I'll take back the cactus and take good care of it. Please, will you take it? Okay. Just don't forget to come by and pick it up. Sure. After a few days... Whew! That's finally over. I can catch up on some sleep. No more pressure. I can kick back and relax. I wonder how Sveta is doing. A few more days pass. The diet of dumplings obviously isn't agreeing with me. Can't imagine why. Back at the bank, they all kept feeding me. Oh, that's nice. Free food, hell yeah! There was always someone treating me with a bun, a candy bar, or something to drink. Sveta even brought in some homemade soup for me once. I hate soup! But hers was really delicious, actually. The week passes. Man, I haven't cleaned up my hard drive for ages. There's so much trash on here. No wonder it's been running slow. I better get this fixed right now. Don't you agree, Commandante? Nice to know that you're always here to support me. Almost like Sveta. Oh, he's getting a little lonesome without his little girlfriend. After a few more days, because it's probably been like 2 weeks. Oh, Sveta, hello! How are you? I quit my job. What? Why? A kind of providence, maybe. Once I really saw what kind of person my boss was and looked to my friends at this bank for advice, they just walked away. They're all completely self-absorbed, looking out only for themselves and trying to take advantage of everyone else. If I stayed at the bank, I'd soon end up just like them. Wow, that's a bold step. But here we have this genuine smile of hers and nice happy little picture. I've been meaning to say this for a while, Vlad. Thank you so much for everything. We've been through a lot, both frustrating and fun, in such a short a time. And then there was everything that the bank threw at us at the end of it all.
Only, you know what? It was all worth it. I have learned to enjoy life again. Our trip opened my eyes up about a lot of things. That 1 week working with you was like a breath of fresh air in a realm of hollow sadness. So it's all thanks to you I can smile with all my heart and soul again. Oh, and here's Bud smiling as well. Oh, really? But I didn't do anything. Well, I'm really happy for you, Sveta. After all, it was you who told me that we need to move forward and do something with our lives, and look at you now. By the way, Commandante Cactus has gone very green for some reason. Turned green? Vlad, are you feeling okay? This is a cactus. It should be green. Green as in, he's been feeling very unwell lately. With all the work she's been doing lately, his mom seems to have completely forgotten about him. Maybe you could check in on him this evening. I'll have tea ready with chocolate. Oh, so this is how it is it? Let me think. Milk chocolate? Of course. For you, Svetlana, only the best. You know, Mr. Wizard, I think you've talked me into it. The end. And that was Winter Novel. The idea and realization by Karabra. This person. I'm not gonna even try. No, I'm not gonna try. And more of these people. Exact same name as before. And the music. Silent Owl. Oh, interesting. The music's actually pretty good in this game. Not the greatest, but it's actually fairly decent for what it is. But the transitions from like one scene to suddenly into the next and the same exact thing with the music is kind of a little weird. Just weird. Hey, look at these blobs that nobody cares about. Yeah. And thanks to all these people. Nice. Oh. Was this in a different language before? I did not notice that the last time I played this. Okay. That's just interesting. Thank you for being with us. You're welcome. It was a nice little short story. Obviously not the best in the market, but it's not definitely the worst thing you'll ever play, I don't think. And yeah, again, the art can be a little hit or miss for some people. People like it, some people don't. Personally, I like it because I really find it fascinating to have these little numbered squares and colored too. Like, I'm kind of curious, how did they do that? I imagine it might be something related to like old school hardware or something like that I'm not familiar with. I don't know. It could be a number of reasons. Or it could be just anything. I don't know, guys. It could be anything. But yeah, that was Winter Novel. A nice little short story. It's unfortunately not free, but I remember this being like dirt cheap. Like, I remember paying not even 50 cents for this. And I think it was on sale too, so yeah, but yeah, very dirt cheap. But for what it's worth, it's enjoyable. I personally like it. I mean, the bar has been set pretty low for me after playing the worst visual novel game in the whole freaking world. Ugh! Ugh! So yeah, Winter Novel, not a bad story. Could it be better? Definitely, I think so, but overall, not too shabby. But that is it for this Let's Play. I am Tara the Fox. You are the viewer, and I hope to see you next time.